Hi, welcome on in. I hope that some friends are joining. If you're here with me live, thank you so much. You're so welcome here. If you're catching this recording, I thank you as well. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate this opportunity to show up in service and just offer my services as a regenerative detoxification specialist and alkaline health coach. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jin and Candy. My friends and family call me Jin, and I'm just so grateful and just so honored to come to you with this information that has helped to transform my life for the better. And I really I just cannot wait for you to share what's going on with you. You know, I want to hold space for anybody who's interested in going deeper. I offer private one-on-one coaching here in Toronto, Canada, but I also offer online. So distant coaching is available to you for regenerative healing, regenerative detoxification, looking at the lymphatic system, the alkaline acid balance, for healing, you know, on all levels, mind, body, and soul. So if anybody has any questions or comments, it would be lovely to receive those from you. And yeah, I just apologize to anybody who wanted to join on video, because usually every second Wednesday we hold space, Pascal and I, he's a fellow regenerative detox specialist like myself, and we have discussions on regenerative healing, and you're so welcome to join us on video. But this time it just didn't work out. It's just me tonight, and yeah, I just had a bit of trouble with my setup as well, so I think this should be okay for tonight, and I will keep an eye out for any questions. But in the meantime, I just want to welcome you again and just let you know that I am healing even still. You know, I already healed from a C-spine injury and so many health issues from my childhood. You know, as a kid, I had chronic upper respiratory, sinus, inner ear infections, was on a lot of antibiotics, had my tonsils and adenoids removed, which we know now, you know, in the holistic world, a lot of you who are connected with me are holistic practitioners, and we know that the tonsils and adenoids are connected to the lymphatic system and are part of this immune system. Your lymph system is your true immune system. So we know now not to do this, but my parents were well-meaning and didn't want to see me suffer as a child. So even though I have healed tremendously, you know, using raw foods, botanicals, and this regenerative detox program that I bring to you through the Raw Reset, our private Facebook group, and through my coaching services, I still have a lot of healing to do. So I'm looking to build community around detoxification, regenerative detoxification, and you would be so welcome to join us. You know, there's already a few of us. We have Candy, who's a regenerative detox coach, who's very active in the group. You can scroll through and see her videos. If you need a link to our private group, if you're catching this on another platform, just send me a message, a DM. You know, I like to talk to you guys over Instagram. That seems to be the easiest for me. I don't use Facebook messaging so much, nor do I use YouTube, although you can follow me at Jin and Candy on YouTube, and I'm starting to post these videos there, just in case that's more accessible to you. So what is the Raw Reset exactly? If you're wondering, I have a little bit to share with you about this. If my computer wasn't freezing, I could find my script. So the Raw Reset was formed to connect, inspire, and uplift one another in community. Regenerative healing practices and a focus on mindfulness offer a gentle approach to healing mind, body, and spirit. Yay! The Raw Reset is a beginner's guide to transitioning over to a more raw living food lifestyle of abundance. And so this is not a diet program, this is a lifestyle. And it's a support group by certified regenerative detoxification specialists to share and answer any of your questions. So we were certified at the International School of Healing Arts with Dr. Robert Morse. You may or may not be familiar with him. He is our mentor, teacher, friend. Welcome. If you're just joining me on this live, you're so welcome to leave any comments. Let me know how you're doing on your healing journey. If you need any support, you know, we're working with healing on all levels, so you are so welcome here. I was just letting you know a little bit about the Raw Reset private Facebook group that we started. So this was started just to create a safe space that would serve as a source of motivation for all of our individual healing journeys. Hey Candy, it's you. I was wondering who's here with me. Thank you, sweetheart. Pascal can't make it tonight, so I'm with this like new setup and yeah, just chilling out. It's up to you if you'd like to join on camera. I can invite you. Just leave a comment. Let me know if you're feeling more to just stay off camera or how that feels to you. So if you like what we're doing here, the Raw Reset, a good way to exchange the energy in a meaningful way to help me to grow this and to continue creating these videos and sharing this information, please invite your friends to the group, yeah? And, you know, anyone you know who you think could benefit from this information, bring them on over, y'all. That would be so wonderful. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please do The Healing Junction, and you might have to type Toronto to locate that, depending on where in the world you're coming from. My dear sister Candy joins and makes me feel so supported and so loved. I love you so much, sister. Thank you. Thank you for everything. This group has really served to, you know, uplift me during such a heavy time. You know, these are really interesting times we're going through. And yeah, I feel really fulfilled being able to share with everybody and connect with everyone in this way. So thank you, Candy, for your support with this. I couldn't have done it without you. And so the intention for this call and these calls that are going to be bi-weekly moving forward. Oh, she can join the live. Wonderful. I bring Candy on camera and then I tell you the intention. Let's see. It'd be lovely to have her with me. And while we anticipate her arrival, I can move forward. So the intention is to hold space bi-weekly for like-minded community to connect and share about their own personal healing journey and to ask any questions about regenerative detoxification, iridology, and healing on all levels. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
It's so fun that you're here.
It kind of happened by accident, but not really.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to send you a text through WhatsApp if you could talk, if you're available to chat.
God, that's so beautiful.
It's Wednesday night. Yeah, she's available.
I'm available Wednesday nights at 7:30. Exactly. It's funny because another friend messaged while I just went on live and I saw it pop down because I'm actually on my mobile right now doing this because my setup today wasn't working out. And yeah, it's interesting because nobody contacted me all day really. And then all of a sudden as I'm going live, I'm hearing from my boyfriend. He's like got all these amazing organic mangoes that he's paying like only $2 for each mango, and they're like this big. He's messaging my friend in Mexico, you know, Kasha, she moved to Mexico. Some of you may know she healed her thyroid through this program. She's messaging, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'll have to get back to you later. I got this live. So this is really fun. And so grateful you're here. What are you up to? What's been going on?
You know, I have just 10-year-old things. Eli's back tonight from being with his dad since Thursday night. And so that.
Nice to hear he's home.
Yeah.
Does it feel good that he's back?
Yeah. Very, 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 very humbled.
Mm.
I'm humbled.
This is Candy's son, by the way, that we're speaking of, Eli. And Eli is 9 or 10 years old?
10.
Or?
He's 10.
10, right? Okay. Yeah, because he just had his birthday. Oh, say hi from
No,
me. I just wanted to let everyone know that this call is to support you on your healing journey. So you're so welcome to join us. Normally we will do it via Zoom, so you could join us on video. Or, you know, if you're more comfortable this way, you just leave some comments and post your questions in the comments. Candy and I have been at the school a number of times with Dr. Robert Morse studying iridology, the Great Lymphatic System, and all these amazing healing, you know, modalities. And we're really just excited to share with you. So part of the intention for this call is to give you an opportunity to see if you resonate with the teachings of regenerative detoxification, and to answer your questions. And if you would like to go deeper at all, you know, Candy and I both are doing private one-on-one coaching, so distant, and I'm doing in person. Are you doing in person as well, Candy?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So you can reach out to us for further support at any time if you're looking to go deeper on your regenerative detox journey. I know Candy has a beautiful book about regenerative detox that she wrote herself, and you can let us know, or maybe we could post the link, something like this, where people could get the book.
Sure. Yeah. I'll post the link to the PayHip. You can get it through there.
Okay, you put it in the comments.
If they follow me on Instagram, or if you follow me on Instagram, there's a link in the bio. There's a link to it on greenhilljuice.club. That's my website, actually. greenhilljuice.club. And there is a link right there to get the PDF book. Yep.
Okay, perfect. And maybe just for anyone catching the recording, we could plug that into the comments later. And also, just if you want to follow Candy on Instagram, it's _Candy Dawn, DAWN. And I already announced mine, but just since we're on the topic of the healing junction, so please do catch us on Instagram. We have some really cool content we're sharing about how to heal on all levels and just support the body and its natural healing abilities. You know, it's just so fascinating. Like, the body is perfectly capable of healing all by itself. How freaking cool. And then we just have to support it. Any words on this, Candy?
I have been thinking about the body habitus lately. And what I mean by that is I feel certain that every single person has like maybe one area or a few areas of their body that is their least favorite, you know, and maybe it's where all the time the weight goes. And maybe this area kind of, you know, bothered them so badly that they went under the knife, and maybe they had a breast reduction, and maybe sometimes it comes back. Maybe they had liposuction, you know, and it comes back. And what made me think about this is because—
What do you mean it comes back?
Well, a lot of times people go and they have liposuction, and then all that just the weight comes back. Or they have a breast reduction. They have a breast reduction, and then their boobs get really, really too big for them, too big for their liking again. I have a friend that had a breast reduction. Used to work with her. She did ultrasound, and and hers kind of got really big again. But however, now, I must say that she tripled in size. Her whole body tripled in size. Okay, enough of that. So anyway.
Oh, like, it's almost like, sorry to interrupt, but it's almost like you're not getting to the root, because we know this is waste. This isn't weight, it's waste. So it's almost like you're not getting to the root. So it's inevitable. Similar thing to cancer, right? When people don't get to the root, they might get this tumor somewhere else in their body. So maybe they've had it removed with a surgery. Is that kind of what you're saying, Candy? Is you're not really getting to the root issue?
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like these areas are kind of passed down too, and so it's a weak area, and then that's where the acids go, and then that's why I'm trying to fix the hair, and that's
I
why
know. I was messing with my camera too. Sorry to anyone who's watching, because this is just an unconventional video. Like, we're not normally set up like this. So
yeah,
if we're being finicky and fussy, then please excuse us. We don't mean to be distracting.
Right. Anyway, what I was saying is, and those areas seem to hold water, and so they get puffy, and so for I'm speaking from experience and my observation. All right, I do want to say that. And one area for me and was so my eyebrows right here sagged, and I mean, I had surgery for these things, okay? And then one area on my body, guys, right here, and because why I want to say this is with a little bit of chemistry shift and playing with the chemistry that I put in, it fixed itself. This part of my arm back here, I was self-conscious about. I never really loved my arms. I didn't like my arms. And getting shirts, you know, to fit, and jackets. I'm kind of broad. We call it the Comer, the Comer shoulders. And so this right here, I absolutely love my arms now. They rock. I mean, I'd go up against Kelly Ripa, you know. And I used to say that, man, I want arms like Kelly Ripa. Well, I think I kind of have them now, and it's simply diet. So that area there, and then another area on me was here, you know, in the back, and that's so common. And I have a friend that had, wow, I mean, like liposuction here. Well, maybe it was a chin thing. I don't even know. There was a big bandage all the way, and there was some.
Oh, it's a facelift. And welcome to whoever's joining. Thank you. You're so welcome here. Candy and I, two regenerative detox coaches, talking about healing on all levels. Tell us more. So she had the facelift where they actually, I know, they get strings put underneath and then they pull.
This person is in their 30s. I don't think it's a facelift what they did. I think they just did some liposuction around in here and the chin and stuff.
Oh, she had something that was bothering her. You were talking about, like, when we have something that's bothering us and then we go and get an operation, it might not get to the actual problem.
Breast lift. It was a breast lift, and I don't know if there were any implants put in, but there was a lot of liposuction all around here. Oh, and a tummy tuck and all of that waist type. And so it was wrapped, you know, and it was going to, you know, had to wear this wrap for 8 weeks and yada, yada. And, you know, that's
what she looked like now.
And a lot of hair. You know, have you seen people who, they almost have, you know, boobs in the back? Have you ever heard that expression? But anyway, I mean, I saw, and I don't mean that about this person, because it wasn't that at all. I mean, you know, my cousin had full body liposuction, and what I'm thinking is, what I want to say is, we're the hardest on ourselves, because these areas never really look that bad to the other person on the outside, you know. But we think that it is, and it's like where these weaknesses go. Yeah, that's all.
It's interesting that you're mentioning this, like, speaking about, like, you know, insecurities of the physicality, right? And especially as women, I'm sure the women watching can relate. Like, there's so much pressure put on us by society to look a certain way, and it's like now we're seeing, you know, even advertisements with more curves, right? And we're starting to realize how beautiful the curves are in women. But I have to say, like, it's so interesting you're bringing this up, because I have a new client that I've taken on for the regenerative detox and iridology, and I think she looks freaking gorgeous. Welcome to those of you who are joining this little regenerative detox chat between two certified detox specialists. But yeah, she, you know, I talked to her, I said, you know, you're gonna get slim, like, I'm just warning you. You'll lose a lot of weight on this program, because I thought, oh, she's perfect weight, she's maybe gonna get scared because she's gonna feel too thin, you know, with the raw foods, the detox. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, really? She goes, you ought to market this program, because she goes, first off, because I did her iris analysis. I'm going to actually go grab the eye photos. She actually has blue eyes, but they appear as hazel, or almost like sometimes green, but mostly hazel. And we know in iridology, there's only blue and brown eyes. And if you guys have questions, just drop them in the comments, you know, if you want to know more about iridology or regenerative detox. But yeah, like I mentioned to her, I go, you're going to end up having, like, after, you know, give yourself 7 years, make this a lifestyle, your eyes are going to go blue. We know other people who this has happened. Your eyes are actually blue, but all the chronic and acute, subacute conditions are showing up as yellow on top of the blue makes green, and brown on top of the blue makes brown. And she was like, you ought to market this program. I'm going to end up with blue eyes. I'm going to be slender. Like, she was getting so excited. She's like, use vanity to get people into your program. Like, let them know how freaking beautiful their body's going to look and how bright their eyes are going to be after all this. And I'm going to run and get the iris photos. Oh, welcome. You're so welcome here. I'm so glad that you guys are joining us.
I appreciate.
Let us know how you're doing on your.
I appreciate your
Nicholas,
Facebook,
yeah.
Nick, I like that. I share a lot of your stuff.
Nicholas, I missed you a lot. I need you to please type in, if it's okay, or DM me your Instagram handle, because I wanted to send you something. There was this mustache farmer guy, and he's so loving, and he has like these cows that he's like running. I don't know if you saw my story, Candy, where he's running with the cows, and he's so affectionate. This guy, like, I don't know why, but he reminds me of you, Nicholas. So, and I couldn't find your handle on Instagram. Anyways, I'd be right back. So,
and I
Candy, if you want to share anything.
I don't have his handle on Instagram as well.
I know there's maybe I don't even want to disclose it on here because maybe you're not comfortable with that, Nicholas, but maybe DM me your Instagram, please. And I'd love to stay in touch with you some more. Yeah, I totally miss you so much. Your energy, your vibe, and just your dedication to, you know, your spiritual growth and your overall health and vitality is really inspiring. So I just be right back. I want to get the eye photos because I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about iridology these days, and maybe in the future I go live and just do a little iridology lesson or something. Oh, he's generous with it. Yes, I knew the word king was in your handle, and I typed it in, but it didn't come up. So what a beautiful handle. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Candy, maybe you share something about regenerative healing that might be helpful for people. Yeah, up to you, or you can wait.
Something about regenerative healing. Trust the process. 100% trust the process. And, you know, all you have is time. You know, I want to ask some people, well, why did you cut out those certain things to begin with? I see people adding in eggs, and I just want to say this. Yeah, I feel very good, high, raw, all raw. That's how I feel. High water content fruit and tender leafy greens. I cut out avocados in 2016. I went over a year without eating avocado. I really think it contributes to my repertoire, my resume, if you could, of what I have reversed. And I have a book. It's not full. It's a couple pages. But anyway, and so what I've observed with myself is if I eat any cooked food, my body starts to change smell. I start to smell, and especially my pee, I'll smell it in my pee straight off the rip. And if there's any processed foods in there, name something, you know, like a kale chip, even my son's rhythm kale chips, I would say that, you know, vinegars, salts, you know, anything, I can really smell that. And so if people are eating eggs, I can't imagine them not smelling. And then if they pass gas, if, you know, that smelling, because, you know, that's a distinct smell, and that just doesn't smell good. And that's all I wanted to say about that.
Well, yeah, thank you for that. Any, dead animals. Sorry, guys, I just call it what it is. Probably it's more
Dead
polite to
flesh.
say animal protein.
Dead flesh.
But yeah, like any of this, any of their milks, I definitely, I've indulged in some aged cheeses, and like afterwards, definitely some smell, like some body odor, which is something that's really rare for me. Even like back when I used to just eat everything, like I would rarely smell. But now that I went raw, it's almost like my body's able to detox it out more efficiently. So it's like the minute I eat something offensive, I definitely notice like, okay, got to stay on top of my, my hygiene a little more extra, right? So I did get the, thank you, Nicholas. He's so supportive. You're so supportive, Nicholas. Thank you. We really appreciate your interest and, your taking responsibility for your health and wanting to be part of a community that does this together. So thank you. It means a lot to us. And yeah, he says, yes, iridology. So definitely want to share. So I have permission to share my client's iris. This is such a beautiful eye.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Like,
great photo.
Holy Lord. And you see, I've done the mapping. So we have 12 o'clock right above the pupil. And this is the brain flare, as Dr. Bernard Jensen calls it. We have his iridology charts that we use. And you have to map it all out. And the right iris shows the right side of the body. So right breast, right ovary, right kidney, whatever it may be. And the left shows the left. And so what's interesting about her iris, and we won't do a whole iridology lesson, but just to give you like some, just like a kind of initial, like, intro to iridology, all around the pupil is the stomach and bowels. And you can see she has blue eyes, but when you see her in person, they look almost brown or hazel. And so when I take my macro lens image, I can tell you if you have blue eyes and you just maybe have never known. You were born with a congested, stagnant lymph system, and they appear to not be blue, but they are blue. My sister has the same thing, actually. And all of this is heavy lymph inside the GI wall, lymphatic stagnation and congestion, and a lot of chronic weakness. So she's given me permission to share. Her other iris is quite interesting. The photo quality is not as good. I'm still waiting for my camera. I'm working with a different camera. Less quality, but it's still very good quality. I can still do an effective reading. But these spots, she's got lots of those Sora spots. Hey, Candy? Those are chemical deposits, guys. And these chemical deposits are passed down from our ancestors and our parents, and are, maybe they worked in a coal mine, and now they're sitting on top of different tissues, organs, and glands, and they're pretty difficult to remove, but you can actually strengthen all of those tissues, organs, and glands on this program, and you won't really be affected by those chemical deposits so much. And I actually love working with people who are wanting to have families. She's a young woman and she wants to have babies one day. So I said, this is the time you clean your body out. And how fulfilling is that for us as practitioners, that we know that the generations to come are going to be healed, and are not all these weaknesses that were passed down to us and our parents. We're kind of breaking that. And it's similar with spirituality. I know some of our friends that have joined us are quite spiritual and on that journey, and it's the same. It's like usually one person in the family wants to wake up and is capable of doing that kind of work spiritually, to say, okay, my whole family, like I watch it. I'll give you an example from my life. I watch the women in my life, my mother, my grandmother, I watched them since I was little, catering to their man. Like literally, like in the kitchen, like putting the man, their partner, their husband, before them. And it's like it's in me too. Like now I'm in a romantic partnership. You guys know I was single for years, working on myself and basically saying, okay, maybe I'm supposed to be alone for the rest of my life, and accepting that. And the minute I accepted that, this man comes in who's perfectly capable of helping support me on my journey to heal, you know, spiritually speaking, mentally, emotionally, all the things. And I'm watching myself becoming my mother and my grandmother. Like I'm in the kitchen when really my body just wants to lie down. What am I doing? Like it's like a codependent program, you know. So it's kind of a deep thing, regenerative detox, because it brings up a lot of these these like programs and things that are stored within our cells. Thank you, Nicholas, for the encouragement. I want to see what this other comment was too. Sulfites. Yes, I've been doing nut cheeses lately. Oh yes, because so Nicholas, our friend here, you're an amazing chef, Nicholas. So he knows like tasty food, and I'm sure you explore foods, yeah, and how it makes you feel and stuff. So he's basically just saying like raw is where he's gonna try next, to just eat a lot more raw living food. So congratulations for this beautiful realization that certain, you know, vegan cheeses, right, nut cheeses, are affecting you in not such a great way. So feel free to tell us more. Always love to hear from you guys.
Can I say something?
Yeah, thank you. I talked a lot. It's your turn. It's your turn.
I was just gonna throw in that Nicholas, with the, you know, it's what nuts is what got me into raw food, really, is what kind of, well, no, let me rephrase. Nuts is what, nuts is what caused my body to blow up. And it was nuts that got me into detoxification. I had met a raw foodist through Essential Oils, Young Living brand. I was doing that, you know, I was 41, 42, 41 and pregnant, and I wanted to do things more naturally. And I had a little crud in my chest, and I was pregnant, and they sent me home. These ladies at CrossFit sent me home with a diffuser and some oils, and I used it and I liked it. And so I started using these essential oils, and I was they had a party. It was around the holidays, and they had it catered by a raw foodist. And I thought, ooh, you know, if I can just cut out white sugar, I'll be doing really good. That's how good I thought I was doing, because I ate lean. That's what I'll describe it as, okay? And so that was grilled chicken and junk. It was like anything with a kind of a low fat grip, just process. It was whatever. So I go to this lady's house, and then nuts, basically what it was, walnuts she made. It was something called a chocolate mint macaroon. And she took, and you know what? I kind of look back at it now after being through the master fast and listened to it, because I mean, Gino is brilliant. I feel like I resonated with a lot of what he said. And the cacao, you know, I remember him telling a lot of people that cacao really wrecked his adrenal glands, that he got into a lot of cacao. I thought about him
today as I was having a hot cacao. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so he kept telling us all of that. He kept repeating it. I mean, he said it all the time. Cacao, stay away from me. And there was another thing that I think people get into, but I'd never, MSM or something. Anyway, so it was walnuts, cacao, and dates, and maybe she put a drop of the peppermint oil in there.
Interesting.
So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then Brian, when his right finger, or is on his right hand, one of his fingers, I mean, it is like it was in a bad flare up. You know, it was acting like what people would call gout. And I kind of thought maybe that shrimp was making it aggravate it, you know, and then nuts. And so, and he cut out shrimp.
And that's your partner, Brian. Yeah. Brian, who's in that group.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is he doing now?
Nuts. Well, he ate nuts. It's flared up again now. I mean, it's hurting worse. You know, it was getting better, but he brought back nuts too soon. You know, he brought back nuts. Yeah. You know, when your cup is topped over, when you're saturated and so acidic to that level, your body is probably, that finger is going to yell at you probably when you put in a really offensive acid every time. You know,
Yes.
I think that's how my body got. For me, I'm speaking from experience. I was so systemically acidic, a systemic head to toe, and like so bad, you know, that I would eat grains and boom, my head pressure would come straight back. Straight back. I mean, like right away.
Yeah, so I think what might be helpful for people who might be new here, you know, obviously enjoy these foods, right? You're the king or queen of your domain, right? But see, like experiment, see how it makes you feel. You know, the thing about the cacao, like I'm completely back hooked on cacao medicine. And Nicholas said he was invited to a cacao ceremony because, yeah, in Costa Rica, those are really popular. You ended up missing it. Yeah. So just when you enjoy this, remember to do it very ceremonially. I guess that's the input I want to say is like, if you're going to eat some nuts or you're going to have some cacao, you know, this is a medicine. So, you know, really respect the medicine. Try not to abuse it. Of course, Gino burnt out his adrenal glands. Louis Gino DeSario, our dear friend and brother from the Master Fast system, we send a lot of our people there because I believe it to be like really one of the highest levels of healing, you know, and we're more of a transition over to raw. He's like fasting, like as a lifestyle, you know, dry fasting and things like this. But yeah, like he first cautioned me because, you know, I had a lot of healing to do on my adrenal glands and I quit coffee years ago. But, you know, somehow I have this medicine again. I've welcomed it back into my life. I'm not doing it every single day, and I'm only having a very small bit, and I'm doing it very ceremonially. When I drink it, I do it like a ceremony. Like I thank the medicine because this is also a heart opener. And I believe that our intention has a lot to do with it. So if you're going to be eating more offensive foods or having maybe some stimulants, you know, have respect for what that is. Like the reason is why you're having that, you know, like even salt, something as simple as salt, it's a stimulant. And if you're having this, it's hard on the adrenals, you know, but at least you can do it with self-love and compassion and, you know, just awareness. Just be aware. And I like to call these like little mistakes because we learn from them. You know, Nicholas was saying that he was maybe not so raw. He's feeling more to come over to the raw lifestyle of abundance. And in that time, you were getting bloating and your abs were going away. Your prized abs, you know, the abdominal muscles were disappearing.
You know,
so thank you for that input.
I wanted to try sunflower seeds, you know, because a lot of people say they do better with the seed instead of any tree nuts or just seeds better. And I've soaked them. I've done all of that, soaked and dehydrated them, and that doesn't help for me. What I was wanting, or I haven't done this, but what I wanted to try, because I really think this might help, is, you know, the fermented nut cheeses and however they, or the sprouted seeds. So sprout the seeds, you know, sprouted sunflower seeds, soaked and sprouted. That would probably, I feel like that's what I would want to try next. Now, what I did was I cut out cashews. Yeah, I cut out cashews. I was eating a lot of kale chips there for a while, and I love the cashew cheese is made with 1 cup of cashews and 2 bell peppers, and you put some jalapeno in there and a half of a lime, blended up, bam, and it is so good. Well, if you pour a little bit of this pickled jalapeno juice in there, it really takes it over the top because it gives it more of a nacho-y, and some of those pickled jalapenos, bam. But then there you go with the vinegar and the salt. See? All right, so if you left that
hold on a sec. Hold on 1 sec on that thought. Is what about the pickles that are done proper in the brine, right? So yeah, it's going to be a salt brine, but there's no vinegar. Like the traditional Polish way, for example, or Ukrainian, they don't use vinegar in their pickles, by the way. So, and Nicholas loves, he loves the sunflower candy, but he's worried about the mold. And he likes to have the sprouted lentils. Beautiful. Yeah, if you're going to eat lentils or grains, guys, you definitely want to sprout them. I like your idea if you're having seeds or nuts to really soak them, like really sprout them, before consuming them. But I'm sorry, Candy, if I interrupted, but do you remember where you were going with this, or I apologize.
It's okay, and I will wait to start talking a little bit because there is a little bit at a delay. I see your mouth and then I see the words. Where I was going with that is, I feel like cashews. I know, and a lot of people have said this. I feel like I react more strongly, or I have more negative effects from cashews. And I feel like cashews really put weight on me whenever. And so that's just because that's what I cut out. That's the main difference. And soaking in your alka. Yeah. And my abs have really taken on. I mean, my abdomen, pelvis, I'm 52. I feel like it looks better. It looks great. There was a,
yeah.
I had a DNC. Well, what did I have? Where they do the lap and they made an incision in my belly button, and it changed my belly button, and it made it lay down and thing, and so and but it's so much better, so much better. The body picks and chooses what it heals, what it wants to heal, when it wants to heal it. The body picks and chooses what it's going to heal next. Yeah,
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you're beautiful. Inside and out, you're beautiful. And yeah, I just wanted to go backwards for a sec about the soaking of the nuts and stuff, and also the mold content, because I believe that the cashews are very high in aflatoxin. They're like peanuts. Most of us are intolerant, to peanuts, and this is why children have so many peanut allergies. It's actually the mold that's really affecting you. And there's Dr. Hulda Clark. I remember reading a lot of her work back in the day. She's a little obsessive. Like, I wouldn't recommend reading too much of her stuff if you're someone that kind of borders on like hypochondriac a bit, because she's very out there. But she had some different approaches using like I know this is offensive and we don't recommend ascorbic acid, but she would take ascorbic acid powder, like vitamin C powder, and she would like wash all her stuff in it, like all her produce, and she believed, and she like would sprinkle it and stuff, and she believed it got rid of the mold. And I'm just like, well, why are you eating foods that are moldy? Like, it just seemed like, yeah, interesting that she was gonna, oh, well, we'll still eat the moldy food. We'll just put some vitamin C on top or something, So Nicholas heard that soaking the nuts is the proper way to eat nuts. Well, when you look in the wild, right, when we were like, in tribes like hundreds of years ago, if we were out like gathering, we would grab the nut and it would be in its shell. It wouldn't already be, what's the word, like deshelled or whatever. It was like very difficult to break a nut and consume it. So that tells you that we're really supposed to eat very little of this. Like, if it's something you could pick and eat in abundance, like fruit, you're just grabbing it and eating it, it tells you should eat a lot of this, green leaves, herbs, stuff like this. But something like a nut that takes so much energy, like my grandparents used to love getting the walnuts in their full shell. And then we'd go over as kids and it would be so fun because we'd crack them with the nutcracker. And it would take a long time. Then you're trying to open it and look at a little piece here and there. So the way we're buying, like, I recently was in a pinch and I bought a bag of unsalted, raw cashews. I thought, oh, okay, they're not salted at least, and it's winter here, so I could afford a bit more protein and fat to stay a bit warmer. It's, makes your metabolism work, so it kind of warms you in a way. And basically, like, I don't know, I was just like reaching in and taking like handfuls of these cashews, and I've been like so sinusy, and I'm never allergic to my boyfriend's cat, but because I've been eating the fungusy like cashews, now all of a sudden I can't be around Archie as much without feeling congested, the cat. So it's interesting. Oh, hold is the word. Thank you.
called.
And sometimes don't really know the words to what I'm thinking. This is fun though, Candy. I wonder if we ought to go live like now and then, just you and I, because what Pascal and I are doing is going to be more structured. It's going to be like a Zoom call. He's going to help me with structure because I am not this kind of person. I like to just go out and create, and I wonder if me and you are supposed to just come up with this.
Did you have structure for tonight?
Fun.
What was the structure supposed to be? What was the structure
No.
supposed to be? You had none.
I lost Pascal for tonight. He's out for dinner.
No topic.
So I was like,
you had no topic on the board.
And then
I tell you this. I mean,
of course, I just
I'm all for it.
Thank you.
I tell you, some of
Nicholas
our
thinks we should.
Yeah, we ought to. I've heard no such thing as should before no such thing as should. You ever that? Hey, here's one more thing about the nuts. Lauren Lockman, if you guys have heard of him, some of us would call him a teetotaler, right? But he lives in Costa Rica and he has the water fasting place down there. It's called Tanglewood. And, he kind of influenced me a little bit with the nuts and the seed thing too. I think I've heard him say like he tries to eat nuts. I think he just eats them like a couple of times a year. So very much a blue moon food for him. And
once in a blue moon,
but yeah, because like if we had to sit and just crack open all those nuts, would we sit and just eat buckets full of them? No. But then they're just about the nut and the seed, the whole thing, and even like the coconut. But could we have sat and like banged it on a rock? Yeah, probably. I'm not a huge water fan. I love coconut. I like the dried coconut, the sweet, and the coconut flesh. I'm weird. I'm one of the odd ones. Ronnie down there, he opened coconut after coconut, and sometimes you get like a soured one. It has to just be spot on, more of the Thai coconut. And then you hear that they dip those in the bleach. And I mean, what do we do, guys? So, but
what do we do?
I can put coconut in my sauces and really, I process that straight okay, all good. Avocado just does not process well for me. I don't think it does for anyone, but that's my opinion. I mean, it's very sticky, gluey, mucus forming. Tell it straight away in the way your bowels move and your tapering.
I do want to say, like to to our point about the nuts, like I have personal experience as well. When I was really diving into the raw food detox, I would go out to the school constantly. This is how Candy and I got close, because we were in live human form at the International School of Healing Arts, quite a bit, because I was auditing all Dr. Morse's classes. Like I had already had my certificates for all of them. And I was just like, I need to just be around these people, like people just eating fruit all the time. Like I just wanted to be in the community with y'all. And I remember going to him and being like, look, like, I'm pretty raw and I've been really on the journey. Like I'm about 90% raw, but I'm still having pain in the cervical spine from the whiplash from the car accident. And he goes, is it time to dig deeper? And I was like, well, what does that mean? And then I looked at my diet and I was still eating nuts. So I went off the nuts, and I remember like immediately I like lost all this weight, and I was like, whoa, this is really interesting. Like all I changed was I just got off nuts and seeds. And I remember telling my older sister, who had been into raw a lot longer than me, and I just said to her, what if you went off the nuts? Like, this is what's happening for me. I can breathe better. I'm free of this pain that wouldn't go away until Dr. Morse challenged me to go deeper. And she also went off the nuts and seeds, and she slimmed right down. Like, we like to have a beautiful body, right? Like some would say vanity, but there's a balance on both ends of the pendulum swing. It's really nice to just feel comfortable in your skin. And remember, you lose 10 pounds of waist. Like how much relief off your heart alone is that? What's Nicholas saying? I just had coconut chai lentils for lunch. Oh my God. So good.
That sounds fancy.
I actually can.
Fancy.
Yeah. Nicholas's food is the best. We used to have pizza night in the middle of the jungle, and he would do like vegan, gluten-free, like all these options. Oh my God, Nicholas, I miss you so much, and I miss those experiences. It's crazy how the mind wants to like hold on to these experiences and almost like wants you to recreate them. But I know there's so many more beautiful experiences for us all to have. So I try to let go. But yeah, it was so much fun. Oh my God. And I was pretty hardcore at the time when we met with my raw. And I remember meeting this one girl, and she really inspired me. Her name was Samantha. And she was like, Jin, you're in the middle of the jungle. There's someone pouring his heart into these beautiful pizzas. Like, you're not going to just try, because they used to give out like small squares, no charge. Like, it was like, who wouldn't want that? And I go, you know what? My inner child wants that. And I would just let her have that. And the next day it'd be back to raw. Nicholas and I would be picking freaking, what fruit was it? Cherimoya you were picking for me off the tree, or I forget which one it was at this moment. But yeah, good times in the jungle, man. Maybe we all meet in the jungle one day. Yeah. Candy, you had fun in Ecuador with Boris, right? You had fun in the Fruit Haven Eco Village, yeah? Sure.
Yes.
Oh, they're talking about doing pizza night again. Yeah, you were. And did you eat like an abundance of fruits? Okay. Terra fruitus.
Edward mango or something. That's my favorite. You know, a lot to be said about living amongst like-minded people. And I'm about 20 minutes east of downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And Nashville is considered to be one of the smart cities. And I've been talking to my boyfriend about trying to look for land in, Mexico or Florida, being around like-minded people and living, amongst that. And it's funny to talk to him about this because of his rebound. His first, it's like, well, you want to live in a commune. I can tell you what I don't want to live in. I can tell you what I don't want to live in. And, it can be beautiful, because then what his question was is what I wanted to tell him, Jen, is a lot of people have read these books where, what is it? I think if every man had 2.5 acres, that's what it takes to be self-sustainable. And, and then how there's a way to go about living in living amongst ourselves without one person being in complete total charge. And say something to that, I know it's doable. I know it's possible. And I know when
what's interesting,
you get people,
go ahead,
when you have people who have done the same kind of work and cleansed and removed so many toxins, maybe, and obstructions, maybe that's when we can see more of that, that it's possible. Or they're you can have a group of people without a man or a woman wanting to be the boss, and this is how, and you can work with each other.
Conscious communities, yeah, and these new systems of even like for businesses and stuff like this, looking at new ways that aren't a hierarchy, for sure. And what's interesting about this topic is like, this really stands out, and I feel called to share. One of my former clients, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us in live human form. She actually, like when she was going through cancer and I was helping coach her through that, she had left like this Princess Margaret Hospital in Toronto. They're like supposed to be the most well respected for cancer and like oncology and all this. And she called herself a dropout because it was literally like, she realized her awareness was so strong
This was an amazing woman. She actually just like realized, okay, like that I'm creating a nightmare for myself by following this path. So she dropped out. So she called herself a dropout. And I was coaching her, and actually the last year of her life, she lived in joy and peace, even though we couldn't really, it was her time to go, right? So the cancer moved from the stomach to the liver, and she was having nuts and seeds. She didn't want to do like the protocol for cancer is full fruit. I'm not saying it's her fault. It's just we didn't really do the full protocol. However, even if we do the full protocol, it might be your time to go. Like this is not to, say that we could save everyone. But she used to call me when I was in Costa Rica for those couple months when I was there with you guys, Nicholas. And she would just like call me in tears, being like, I can't live in Toronto. Like, there's such a heavy drinking culture. Everything is about going to restaurants. It makes me emotional to speak about it. I'm getting chills because it's like, all she wanted was this community. All she wanted was, she was, Jin, please, like, get people together in community in the jungle where we can all access the best quality fruit. Like, please, let's create this. So she's left me with this. And actually, when she passed, I didn't know, but she came to me in a dream the same day I was told that she passed. And she came to me with her full weight, her full vitality, and she was in a white dress. She was just high vibing, looking amazing, and she kind of like helped me to let myself off the hook. Any guilt that might have been there, like any blaming myself for not helping her like heal or not being successful with her healing journey. Like, she let me off the hook, and she assured me that everything I shared with her about regenerative healing, she will take into her next life and pass on these truths, and yeah, she left me with this motivation to create community. So I thank you guys for listening to my story and holding space for me about that. I want to see what Nicholas is saying. I love it. I love you're here with us.
Oh,
Thank you.
I want to say
and
something.
Any other friends, please say hi.
I want to add something to about your friend, that story right there. It doesn't sound like to me that she was 100% a dropout, because somehow or another she thinks that the C word jumped from her stomach to her liver or whatever. So that means that she must have went and had one of their tests. So she was still in.
Yeah.
She didn't really want to do the thing, but she still wanted the attention. I mean, and that's kind of the way I look at it. I mean, if you want to be done with it, be done with it. To hell with their
Good
tests.
night, Nicholas.
And
Take
actually
care.
we know that the C word doesn't jump. It doesn't metastasize. You have stomach cells, they're being cells. You have liver cells, you have kidney cells. A cell is hanging out being a cell. And it's sitting there and it's receiving nourishment from the blood, and it wastes, it poops. Everything in nature eats and poops. So it poops out waste, and that goes into the lymphatic system. But cells aren't just jumping and going and taking something to another part of the body. You see, that just means that was another place that was weak, and she didn't cut out enough bad acids. That's all she did. It wouldn't have killed her. She could have kept on. Evidently, what I kind of think is she was doing something to help her demise more than just, what I'm saying? I mean, whatever it was at the very, very end.
Okay.
And that's all that's my thought. Yeah, because if we,
it's interesting.
There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of misinformation I'm hearing right now going around with this, what's going on with this thing that people are taking, and they're telling people, you're hearing that people are dying from a blood clot. And I did ultrasounds for 24 years, and I invite people to open your mind a little bit and hear this differently. Your body can live a long time with blood clots in it. You might have a clot in your leg. It could be a fresh one. It could be an old one, but it still sits right there in that part of the vein in the thigh, hanging out, being a clot. Clots don't go and just go to your lung. a clot formed in your lung. It didn't kill you either. A clot can
but you
form
know
in your
how
heart.
dedicated
Can be there for months.
Candy, do you know, I want to go backwards for a sec. You know how she was so dedicated?
Yeah, well, let me finish.
Like she was
let me
taking
finish
all
this.
Okay. Okay.
Well, what as far as the blood clot, and people are thinking, oh, the blood clot, and this is going to get, and then the blood clot get them, and the heart, and the thing. The main thing is we stop breathing. And why? It's because the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands is why anyone and everyone dies. Period. And I don't care if you were cut and bleeding profusely. Your adrenal gland is the firefighter and supposed to respond to that. And you know, we have things in our body that clot, that is to help make the blood clot when it knows it's been cut. The adrenal gland tells your heart to beat, and it runs the autonomic nervous system, and it tells you to breathe. You know, so if you are doing halfway, even like 80%, you know, I mean, you can be really, yeah, you could be dedicated at doing really badly, and you would still, I think you would still have to have the allopathics help, or some kind of chemical, something you're putting in your body, pain pill that you didn't know about, or something that is slowing down the heart rate, something that is crashing those adrenal glands even more. You know, that's my thought, and I'm open-minded.
All I can say is
that's what I think. You could.
All I can say is, Candy, you really know the body. And the book that you wrote on cellular detoxification is amazing. And I'm so happy that you're helping people and you're spreading this light and this awareness, and that we've teamed up in this way. Like, it just feels really nourishing and so supportive. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, like, Candy and I are like dear friends. Like, she's my chosen sister. Like, we talk all the time. We try not to be codependent. But I have to say, it's just been such a blessing to have you here with me. I came from a beautiful meditation before I came on here with a Kundalini teacher of mine who that's the one where actually I'm doing her iris analysis, and she's teaching me Kundalini yoga and meditation. And we're doing this like as an energy exchange. And because she's got me doing this again, it looks like I have 2 new clients for my offerings. And I just want everybody to know that Candy and I both do private sessions. We're running the private group, the Raw Reset. We're posting a lot of educational videos there and on our Instagrams. And Candy's Instagram is _Candy Dawn, DAWN, and mine is The Healing Junction. So if you want to support us in spreading truth and awareness about how the body truly is the healer, you could please like and share these videos with anyone you think could benefit from this information shared. And if you'd like to send a donation to help me out with this, you can send your donations via e-transfer or PayPal to Jeanette at thehealingjunction.ca. I don't know if you have anything set up currently for donations, Candy, but your work here, you know, like if people want to continue, so, you know, they want us to continue with these videos and this information might be nice. I mean, they don't have to give a monetary. It's just wonderful to like and share the video as well. But do you have something like an email address, or maybe the next call you can share it? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a PayPal, and it's linked through my email of candyofnashville@gmail.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So, I mean, we're coming on to an hour now. I wanted to know if you had any final words to share with our community, Candy.
I think that's it. Just, you know, trust your body, like I said, and be careful of the misinformation, because they will even tell people that they have the clot in their leg, and, you know, and they take medicine. They might take blood thinners for years and years and years and years and years, and that clot's just still sitting there. Or they go ahead and they'll say, let's put in this greenfield filter. It's called a greenfield filter, and they'll put in a filter meshy thing in the IVC to try to catch the clot in case it does want to go up and travel to the lung. So,
I think what would be
people are taking
helpful.
things and putting chemistry. Yeah, they're putting chemistry in their body, and ultimately that chemistry is affecting the gland that runs the autonomic nervous system, that runs your electrical system,
Right.
that turns on the lights and tells you to breathe. And that's why, there's videos and you see people just dropping over, passing out, falling over. And if I try to simply tell people, I'll leave you with this tip: if that happens, yank their shoe off and rub the bottom of their left foot, right foot. If you can't do any of that, or if they don't have feet, hold a hand and put a hand on the back of their shoulder, and you're sending them energy that way. CPR doesn't make so much sense, really, when you really kind of think about it. And it's like the heart's way down deep in there, and you got this sternum bone, and you're gonna press on it to do what? Rub the bottom of the feet, the nerve endings are there, and you stimulate it. And or you could take your fist and massage the sternum. You could press up underneath their nose. There's a pressure point there. All those things I would find way more effective. So.
I think what would be helpful, Candy, maybe for our next live together, or anything, like if there's some way we could share, maybe not now, because I think we close it down for today, but because it's already an hour, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. But I think what would be helpful is if people understand a bit about your experience, working in ultrasound, and how much you've learned from just observing what's happening in these hospitals, and your connection to Dr. Morris and everything we've learned there, from him. So I think maybe in the future I could ask you some questions that would help people to realize what a beautiful resource you are for us. So guys, don't hesitate to reach out. Candy has a ton of experience with all this kind of medical stuff. So if you're going through anything really scary in that regard, just let us know, because we're here to serve you, and this is just our joy and our passion. And I just send you so much love, Candy. Thank you so much for everything you're doing to light up this world with truth and vitality, and everyone else who joined or even just caught the recording. Thank you so much. We love you so much, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.